Grand Rising, you guys. What's going on? This is Cassie, Unlimited Goddess, coming to you on Unlimited Truth. I have your message of the day, you guys. Please understand that our readings are past, present, and future, meaning they could have happened already, it's happening now, or it's coming in the future. I have a direct message of the day coming from the Star Seed Oracle. We're going to dive into karmic relationships. This is the card that I pulled. Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. I'm going to read it straight out the book per usual, you guys. The Constellation Oracle is a thought by many to have placed a great polarity in eventful unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were a part of this karmic history are incarnated on Earth now and playing out karmic relationships for Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. To many, understandings are the cause where we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reaction, second guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we have reacted because of our own wounding and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's harder to grow closer through conflict than it is further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personal. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart to drop denses enough to see through a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see similars rather than differences? Now I have a question, collective. Which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from different perspectives? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? This was deep, you guys. I woke up to start my Sunday and I'm like, I'm going to do a message of the day. And I went in my Starseed Oracle and I shuffled for a minute and karmic relationships dropped out. Okay. I want to talk about what makes a relationship, a situation, a person, whatever you want to call it, a connection with someone karmic. What makes it karmic is when someone refuses to see what's in front of them. Just like in detail in the card when it talked about looking at things and how you react and processing things in different ways. That's extremely hard because we all deal with different traumas. But it's hard because it depends on what you're feeling at that time, where your vibration is. You feel me? So if you're upset about something or you don't understand something or whatever it is, all of the above, you're going to act out right away, which you shouldn't. All right. But that's something that we're all guilty of for the most part. For the most part, you guys. Okay. So that's what makes certain things karmic. It's like you're in some type of connection and there's two worlds and someone is standing on top of their world and you're standing on top of your world. All right. And I always say, which is the truth, when we come into connection with someone, you guys, we are beyond healed. You feel me? You come in certain connections with individuals is to mirror certain things that you have gone through and basically to go through challenges with that individual. Now, this is Everybody has the free will here in the devil's playground to do whatever they want to do. You make choices, all right? You make decisions. It's what you want regardless. But one thing that will never fail is that you are always shown red flags. You are always shown your right and your wrongs, and your intuition is at play at all times, meaning that your intuition never turns off. Okay? Those are your ancestors and your spirit guides that are talking to you. It's your lower gut feeling. It's one of your chakras, one of your important chakras to me. What I get from this message is that it's calling individuals to look at certain situations and connections not more as conflict or something that makes you unhappy, but why am I in this? Or when you approach certain things, you should look at the bigger picture better than to react so fast. And it doesn't matter what anyone says or what someone does. There's always three sides to the story. There's always the other person's side, your side, and what lies in between, which is the truth. It's the straight truth. What I learned from being in karmic connections, you guys, is that not only does it show a mirror of myself and things that I do and how that I operate, but it seems like more we play positions when we are in these connections. And an easier way to put it so people can understand is that sometimes you're the punching bag and sometimes the other person is doing the punching. Or sometimes this is a doctor and patient connection, relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes you're the doctor and that's the patient. And what I'm trying to say is that sometimes individuals take on a heavier load. And that's your calling and that's where you stand. Sometimes the person that's taking on the heavier load can have a bigger task for this connection or that individual, but that individual that is there probably that individual that's there probably is even spiritually stronger or higher up than that person. I come into a lot of connections with helping um, spiritual people walking into their awakening at the same time is beneficial to me, and at the same time it's going to be a heavy load, you know. But that person, it's like what I learned is that I just have tasks with individuals. And I'm always placed with people that are extremely powerful to enter them, you know? And people don't quite like, and it's not for everybody to understand, but to know like shit that spiritualists or high priest of myself take on. It's a lot, you know? But it's a part of my calling and I wouldn't change it for anything. And it only makes me stronger, you know? So I'm not gonna look at certain things like, oh, this is a karmic relationship. Why did I go through this? Or this is a karmic connection, or why do I always have to take on the bigger load? Why am I the punching bag? Why? It's a part of my calling, you guys. And I just look at things for what they are. God, my angels, and my ancestors would never put me in certain situations that are not beneficial for my growth and my calling. However, the way I handle those things, the way I process them, the way I verbally express myself, whether it's through energy or, verbally through my mouth determines what I got out of the situation. Because although I'm here helping individuals, it's like I'm still a part of the collective. I'm still being faced with certain triggers and traumas and stuff like that, that I need to heal from. So, like I told you, no matter what I get into, whether someone's a client or a family member or a significant other or somebody I'm in some type of connection with, it's always beneficial to myself. So, I thank God for that, you know? And even if I'm in some type of connection, and in order for that other side or that other person to see certain things, it's like a double-edged sword. A lot of times I get hurt, but again, it's a part of my calling. This is what I'm built for. And it could get overwhelming, you know? But that's not going to change who I am and what I'm here to do or how I see certain things. I am grateful for any connection or anyone that I come intertwine with because it's beneficial to my growth. And no matter how it turns out or how individuals see certain things, or process certain things, or things that people do off of anger, how they react, it still doesn't justify who you are as a person, even if those individuals are saying certain things about you, whether it's the truth or not. It it shows who they are, you know? It shows what they took with their lessons and their energies out of a situation. If I'm in a situation with someone or a connection with someone and something doesn't go right, I'm not gonna no longer use my anger or my frustration to talk down on someone or use words to like belittle someone, you know? Anything that I say will be to help you. The thing is how people take it, you know? And sometimes, like I told you, being in the position that I am, you're gonna hurt, you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna be shocked, you're gonna be overwhelmed, you know? I place mirrors in front of individuals. That's my calling. At the same time, I place mirrors in front of individuals. There's a mirror facing me too, which could be extremely triggering because that could have been me at a certain time in my life. Or maybe I have a lot of love for that individual and it hurts me to do that, but I have to do what I have to do. Sometimes people need mirrors placed in front of them so they can see exactly who they are. Are you the victim? Is it really always somebody else and not you? God will put you in people's life to do certain things. Especially what I've seen is that people that will play victim or think that they're the victim or just always in that victim mentality could even find themselves being what we would call like a villain, or even doing something to someone else that another person has done to them. If you see somebody or you find somebody, let's say there's a situation going on and somebody went through something in their life which was horrible, like some injustice, let's say you have a breakup with somebody, right? And a lot of times shit could be, we let bygones be bygones and we separate. But a lot of times we get triggered with certain things and then we react off of impulse. And that's when we feed that negative energy and we go on what I call a ride, you know, a ride that you can't stop. You sit on your own seat in your own roller coaster. It stops when you want to. And that's how you let that negative energy build up. You could either do this by saying harsh things to that individual, social media, text messages, emails, whatever, you know, and what that individual doesn't even know is that they're doing the same thing that was done to them. So people like me will take that. I will take that pain. I will take that hurt to show you who you really are. And not even to put you to the ground so you could stay there, but so you could face your traumas, so you could know who you really are deep down inside, so you could know that dark energy that you need to fight or that you hid away. So I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. With the card that I pulled, Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, and Conflict.